Okay, so I'm going to do a rapid fire introduction of each of these modifiers. I have 10 of the most basic modifiers here. And I basically want to go through what each modifier does. Modifiers are essentially a non-destructive modeling workflow. And yeah, let's get going. So the array tool is similar to a cloner. So if I go over to the modifiers, which is this wrench over here, and click add modifier, I can go to search and type in array and click that. So you can see what it does is it basically duplicates your model along an axis, and you can add more if you want to duplicate that array. Really cool modifier. Okay, so the next one is the bevel modifier. There is a bevel tool in the modeling tools, which you can add, but that is destructive. And so if you don't want a destructive tool, you can use the bevel modifier, which is here, and you can see it bevels the edges that you specify. Okay, next is the mirror modifier. The mirror modifier allows you to use a pivot point. So if I find a pivot point over here and make it an empty, I can drag that somewhere along this axis and add the mirror modifier to my cube and identify under the mirror object what I want that to be. So you can see, depending on the axis I choose, it's creating a duplicate of that object along that mirror object, and whatever I do to this cube will be done to the other one. Okay, next is the Multirez. This modifier is primarily used for sculpting. You're able to subdivide your object over and over again, but indicate what subdivision level you want to be shown in the viewport versus the sculpt view and the render view. Okay, next we have Remesh. So Remesh is helpful if you have really bad topology and you want to give a generally good quad topology. If you enable it, it tries to add that quad topology to your object, and you can change the way in which it retopologizes your object. Okay, next is the Solidify tool or modifier. So if we click these faces and delete them and add the solidifier and increase the thickness, you see it just adds thickness to any mesh. And once you apply it, creates the appropriate geometry for that thickness. Okay, moving on is Subdivision Surface. You should know what this one is. Basically averages out your points and adds more geometry to your object. Very useful for subdivision surface modeling. Shrink wrap. So if we bring this over here, add a subdivision surface, bring that way high, and then add a plane, add a subdivision surface to that. Okay, and we'll make that a simple subdivision surface. We'll bring that to 4. Okay, so basically what the shrink wrap does is it deforms a mesh to whatever the target is. So click that and make the target our sphere. You can see it's shrink wraps the object to the sphere, and you can change the offset of it as well. Very useful. Okay, and then the last one is the Deform modifier. And so if we add some more subdivision surface to that and just make it simple and add simple deform, you can see it just does like the name suggests, simply deforms your object in a variety of ways. And some of these can be, especially the bend tool, if you bring in a pivot point like we used in the mirror modifier and make that a target, you can make your bends use that empty as a target for your deformation. So that's really quick. Just wanted to give you a sense of what all of these modifiers do. Some of them have a little bit more capability, but I just wanted to give you a blanket understanding of what they do and how you can use them. Sweet, thanks guys, bye.